Thank you. And the last of the community boards, I think, is Te Pātaka o Rākaihautū, Banks Peninsula Community Board, Chair Tori Peden, and I think you don't have Tyrone with you, and Penelope Goldstone.
Morena, we'll skip that one. We're going to jump into our update, and then we'll come back to our Part A shortly. So, a bit of good news in the area. The site, there's been a new cell site been switched on above Little River, so the site will allow an extra 150 homes and businesses and nearly 3 kilometres of State Highway 75 access to reliable 4G wireless broadband and voice calling services. This is part of the Rural Connectivity Program to avoid black spots of the highway and improve rural access technology. The locals are loving it. Next one. Cruise ships. So with Aotearoa's marine borders now due to reopen, preparations are underway to address the return of cruise ships to Akaroa and Lyttelton. The new berth in Lyttelton will be available for cruise ships for the first time this season as Lyttelton returns to a familiar pre-quake cruise activity. While there are 82 existing bookings for the coming season, many are placeholders or and dates pre-COVID times. From pre-COVID times, the Lyttelton Port Company is anticipating between 40 and 50 cruise ships bookings for this season. For Akaroa, it's expected that there will be significant fewer cruise ships and reduced passenger numbers than the post-quake season. Many community members and other stakeholders remain invested in ensuring their environmental, ecological, social and heritage is protected and prioritised in the area. As the board and our communities look ahead to the return of cruise ships and passengers to Banks Peninsula, it is becoming more important than ever that thorough, thoughtful and focused destination management plan is in place to ensure responsible tourism, strong environmental protection and community preparedness. Another bit of good news is very pleased to share that the residents at Eastern Bay's regained access across the main road dropout at Goffs Bay Road. This is a significant milestone for the communities that have been severely impacted by the December weather event. The board would like to recognise the incredible efforts of residents, engineers, designers, planners, community delivery teams, council staff and Fulton Hogan for their hard work and perseverance during this time. With the roads reopening, contractors will now turn their focus to other, more minor repairs and tidying up sections of the roading network. Another wee project that's happening and a wonderful show of partnerships. The Banks Peninsula Conservation Trust, Refuge Ecology and Council Rangers are working together to help Aotearoa's smallest bird, the titi punamu or rifleman. These tiny birds, a male weighs just 6 grams, are one of the only 2 species of wren left in New Zealand. The group efforts to install new nesting boxes that are designed to provide safe anti-predator nesting sites should help boost numbers in the area that lack mature trees. Members of the public are reporting sightings of titi punamu in Robinson's Bay Valley, Hinawai Reserve and LeBon's Bay, as well as other areas in the peninsula. We're hopeful that these efforts lead to more sightings and increased numbers of the wonderful species. Before I go back to the cruise ship, you can go back to Akaroa Wharf, I'd like to bring up a current issue, lost me. Yesterday, Waka Kotahi announced the speed limit change for State Highway 75 and 74 within Lyttelton. Even though we as a board have not had a chance to discuss this, I feel as my role as chair, I advocate for our community. While the community are really disappointed by speed limits being dropped on the main state highway and not feeling heard during the consultation process, I am airing their frustration with this. On a more important note, and this is where I'm asking for council to assist advocating to Waka Kotahi, the approximate 1 kilometre stretch of road between Wairewa Marae and Cooptown, that although the speed limit is being lowered to 80 kilometres an hour from 100, it does not make sense. This approximate 1 kilometre stretch of road sits between a 50 kilometre per hour speed limit that ends at Wairewa Marae and a 60 kilometre per hour speed limit change that goes from Copetown to Akaroa. We've asked Waka Kotahi to look at the stretch of road in the past, and I feel it is not safe speed, especially when recently the local high school bus route has changed, forcing high school students to walk along this part of the road. There is also no footpaths. Please, can council help us in the community look at this?
Yeah, I heard the news on the radio. I think it was this morning, wasn't it? That it was public on the radio. And I thought, oh great, they've extended it beyond Wairewa. And then I thought, but I hadn't thought of Cooktown until you've raised it, and I'm glad that you have. Yeah, so this is confession time. I was driving over to Akaroa, drove through Little River, go past Wairewa, well actually before then, you speed up, and I didn't notice the 60k, and I slowed down, but there was a member of the police force sitting on the other side of the road, but he was, I think I must have been going over there for a purpose, because he basically was stopping people and taking a educative approach. So I didn't actually get a speeding ticket, but it was a salutary reminder that it's hard to juggle the things. And when you say 1 kilometre difference between 50k and 100 and then 60, it actually doesn't make sense. So, I mean, even if it were the 60 in that, so if it went from 50 to 60 and then at Cooptown, at the end of Cooptown, switch to the 100, then it would make sense. Yeah. All right. Well, I think we're there with you. So,
Thank you.
Good luck, and we're hoping. Sorry.
Yep. So now talking about the Part A. So
Yes.
Thank you to council staff to allow us to have extra time. Just regarding this Part A is a significant issue for the community. It's not an issue, but it's a well-loved facility. Yes. Item. The board convened an additional meeting on the 4th of April to discuss the Akaroa Wharf renewal and hear deputations from the community members and organisations regarding the design, plan and concept. The board was pleased by the quality and quantity of submissions and strongly endorsed the continued consultation with stakeholders moving forward with the project. The board recognises the importance of the current wharf's heritage and character and the legacy of its location and use. The board thanks staff for continuing to work towards honouring these characteristics and its design considerations. For working with the community to minimise disruption. On the disruption side of things, it was raised amongst a lot of deputations that disruptions in and around the wharf will affect businesses. We have been reassured by staff that the best practical alternatives are being looked at and sorted. We look forward to seeing what these look like. It is really important to the community to have regular updates about the whole process and upcoming works happening. Being forewarned and updated regularly stops rumours and speculation, as this can happen so fast where there is limited information out there. Lastly, we, the community and the community board, ask the character and heritage values of the wharf are kept as true as they can be. Timber is an important feature that all would like to see integrated into the design, and we understand that when the concept design changes to detailed design, there will be a chance to see what that looks like. It was an interesting meeting, and the board feels it captured the feedback from the community well in our resolution.
Thank you very much. Do I have no, we're going to deal with that when we get to it.
Yep.
So thank you very much for your presentation today. It's much appreciated.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So that brings us to the end of